nationwide searches that were carried out, 55 locations. Getting us full details are my colleagues Prajwal as well as Anirudh and Aravat. Shifting focus now to the story that we've been tracking very closely. A comment that has been made by the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, despicable to say the least. There is growing a chorus that the Chief Minister should step down. There appears to be whitewashing that has been done by his colleagues. Bihar Chief Minister, who's made this comment, and not a single INDI Alliance has called him out. In fact, he's being seen as the possible prime ministerial candidate. He's touched the lowest of the lows. Yesterday, the Assembly, Nitish Kumar made a filthy, sexist and a disgustingly objectified women comment. Today, upon his arrival at the Vidhan Sabha premises, Nitish Kumar was greeted by a posse of MLAs, all belonging to the Bharatiya Janata Party, carrying placards denouncing his utterances and demanding his resignation. So on pan-India protest that broke out demanding Nitish's resignation, later in the day, Bihar Chief Minister had the audacity to justify what he said and remain unapologetic. The Prime Minister lambasted at Nitish and those backing this filthy mindset. Now, it is to be noted that this isn't the first time when an INDI Alliance member has shamed an Indian woman with a misogynistic remark. History is proof that from Mulayam Singh Yadav to Shashi Tharoor, the INDI Alliance members have always objectified women. But the question here is, where are the women leaders like Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Supriya Sule, Sonia Gandhi, who sing tunes of equality and feminism? Will they not condemn this now? But it is to be noted that this remark by the Bihar Chief Minister is a sheer example of filthy sexist comment, and a mere apology is certainly not enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Bihar Chief Minister ought to quit. Here's the story. In fact, we've also spoken to NCW member, BJP leader Khushbu Sundar, who's once again questioned the silence of leaders like Mamata Banerjee, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Sonia Gandhi. Listen in to what Khushbu Sundar had to say. Joining us on This Is Exclusive tonight is senior BJP leader Ms. Khushbu. Thank you very much for joining us on Republic TV. Let me straight away begin by asking you, a despicable comment made by the Chief Minister and politics being played over it. You've heard what some of the INDI Alliance members are essentially saying, starting with Priyanka Chaturvedi herself saying that, look here, you cannot perhaps gloss over the comment that has been made by the Chief Minister, but essentially some are arguing that this is selective outrage. How do you respond to that sort of an argument?
I don't know why some people think this is selective outrage. I think it's there very clear in their minds of being very selective as to which issues about women they want to speak to. When it comes to their alliance parties, then they want to be in a selective amnesia when it comes to different issues. But here, I think overall, as a woman, every woman should be condemning the way Mr. Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister of Bihar, has spoken on the floor of the House, the way he has very cheaply, crassly, crudely spoken about a reunion or a union about a man and a woman, the reproduction and everything. It's a huge insult to women. And I think we collectively as women should come together across all the party lines and vehemently condemn this rather than standing up to defend and say what happened to this, what happened to that.
Ms. Sundar, I just want to recount what really happened inside the Assembly, on the floor of the Assembly. You had Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's deputy, Tejasvi Yadav, perhaps chuckling all through when that comment was essentially made. And thereafter, an argument that has been made is that this is about sex education, which is imperative and perhaps political leaders should be at the forefront of it. This entire argument of sex education, and that was perhaps the purpose of the Chief Minister. Does that cut the ice?
My question to Mr. Tejasvi Yadav would be, who was the Chief Minister trying to educate on sex? The senior most leaders in the Assembly, Mr. Nitish Kumar, people who are of Mr. Nitish Kumar's age group, or Mr. Tejasvi Yadav, or other men in the family, including the women who were squirming and trying to put their head down when these kind of crass comments were made. Who was Mr. Nitish Kumar trying to give sex education to, that too in an assembly? I mean, Nitish Kumar has been in power. What has been doing for state education policy if he wants to include sex education? Did he try to include that in a state education policy? Has he ever spoken about sex education all the time when he was a chief minister? No. I mean, I don't understand. You make a mistake and then you try to cover it up by saying it, by calling it sex education. Sex education is something which this country needs, and we have been fighting, especially I have been fighting for it from a very long time, saying that sex education needs to be included in school curriculum. And this is not sex education. This is sexism. This is absolutely your vulgar mindset, which is out on a display.
But Sundar, when the Chief Minister today, few hours after making that comment, not once, let's be clear, he's made that comment twice, which essentially indicated that perhaps initially there was absolutely no remorse. It was only after the outrage, perhaps the Chief Minister had to think over it, and finally he's apologized. BJP leaders in the state of Bihar, they say that there is no question of just an apology. The Chief Minister ought to resign. What's the reason behind this? Why exactly would a demand for resignation really step in at this point in time?
See, I'm not going to make it political here completely, but I think on moral grounds, Mr. Nitish Kumar should resign. What he has spoken, he has insulted not only the women of his state, but the women of this country, including the women of his own household. You have insulted womanhood at the onset. And I think on moral grounds, Mr. Nitish Kumar should offer his resignation. But then his aspirations to become the Prime Minister is so high that at no given point he would say that I am sorry for what I have said. And even when he apologizes, in his apology, he does not apologize for what he has said. You see his tenor, you see his tone of language, you see the smirk on his face, you see the way he actually gestures and says how it is done. And then you have all the men around chuckling and laughing and giggling over it. So this was very clearly there in Mr. Nitish Kumar's mind, that how he is going to explain certain things. But here I would say that Mr. Nitish Kumar, if he's really concerned about the women, if he he said later, that it's not about, it's we who give 60 and 65% of benefits to the women. I think with so much of insult to the women of this country, you should offer an apology. Whether that's accepted or not, that's a secondary thing. But I think any leader of his caliber should offer an apology if he's really, really apologetic about what he said.
I would also like to talk about what the former Chief Minister of Bihar, Rabri Devi, had to say. Once again, perhaps giving that long rope to the current Chief Minister, saying that, look here, what's the brouhaha about what the Chief Minister had to say? It's all about sex education and also perhaps a social issue, that is with regards to birth control. Mr. Sundar, someone who has worked extensively on this entire matter, how do you really look at women leaders making these kind of comments and perhaps even backing crass comments of the Chief Minister?
I wouldn't want to comment on Rabri Devi because I don't even take her into the account of that. We need to really look into what she has to say, because she has been there in that absolute area of where men are misogynist, patriarchal mindset. So I don't blame Rabri Devi. But what I would like to ask here is, where are the other women leaders who speak or scream at the top of their voices when anything happens in the political parties? Alliance, that is Miss Sonia Gandhi or Miss Priyanka Gandhi or Didi Mamata Banerjee. Where are these women? Do they endorse this? What Mr. Nitish Kumar has said, the way Mr. Nitish Kumar has said it, the kind of smile and making a mockery of the entire thing. Do they endorse this? And if they're not, and where is my very dear friend Kanimori, also from DMK? I don't hear anybody speaking about it. I don't hear anybody even talking about it or saying that yes, Mr. Nitish Kumar should offer an apology. Where are these women is what I want to ask.
Do you then believe that perhaps the INDI Alliance is equally to be blamed by their silence? Because having said that, it does appear that some are basically trying to give it a twist, and the INDI Alliance completely silent. We have also spoken to some other leaders of the JDU. In fact, they also go on to say that this is all about birth control and that this is a social issue, and perhaps Nitish Kumar, with such a vast experience, was only trying to aim at that. With the silence of leaders like Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra, as well as Mamata Banerjee, do you essentially believe that the INDI Alliance members are equally guilty?
Absolutely. People who do not speak about this are equally guilty, especially women. who do not speak about this issue, who do not feel insulted, who do not feel degraded, who do not find this kind of a crass statement appalling, I think they are equally responsible for this.
One final question, Ms. Sundar, before I let you go, is that on a matter like this, what is it that you would like to say? Not as a BJP leader, as a tall woman leader who's extensively worked on various social issues. Do you essentially believe that on various issues, social issues like this, statements like what the Chief Minister had to say only perhaps takes us back to square one and perhaps only sends across a very negative message? What is it that you would, as an independent woman, demand from the Chief Minister of Bihar?
Not only Mr. Nitish Kumar, but I would like to send a message across to every man in every political party, including in this country and the world, on social platforms everywhere. Do not take women for granted. Gone are the days when you say they're the weaker sex. We can make or we can break. Women are empowered today, and do not take us, especially our dignity and respectability, do not take it for granted. We can retaliate, we can hit you back, and we can hit back real hard. We have a voice and we have learned how to speak for ourselves.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Sundar, for joining us on this broadcast. It's always a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.